And welcome to the Daily Antidote of Song. My name is David Roth, honored to be your host today on this very important day of music, just like every other day, some 600 and counting. And Aaron is there on tech helping us out. We heard music from Gerdan, which is Solomia and Andre from the Ukraine, who are going to be our song leaders today. So beautiful, but let me greet you before we get started. Although I must tell you, I could have listened to them play for 35 minutes without interruption, and that would be enough for me today. Very moving. So hello to Aaron. Hello to myself. Hello to Solomia's there. Joe Rassi is driving, and we know she's listening in. Hi, Joe. Hi, Becky. Hello, Arlene in Berkeley. Mabel. Hello, Mabel and Bear. Brian McLaughlin, my old friend. It's wonderful to see you. Jenny in Suffolk, UK. Carolyn, 713 days. All right, I love a fact checker. Hello, Sheila in Florida. Hello, Susan from Cincinnati. And let's see, Kathleen from Albuquerque. Nice to see you, Kathleen. Kate, Charlottesville. Hi, Kate. The answer is yes to what you wrote me yesterday. Ruth in Birmingham. Hello, Ruth. Hi, Susan in my former home of Seattle. Hello, Gloria, my mother's name in Minnesota. Hello, Deborah in Kentucky, the dance queen. Hello, Sarah Page in Texas. Pete and Jane in Toronto. We're international today. Of course, we already were. Bonnie and Ione in Michigan. The Mitten. All right. Lynn and Cliff in Vermont. Hello, fellow New Englanders. Hello, Bronwyn in Victoria. Hello, Ann in Maryland. Hello, Dan in Vienna. Hi, Dan. Caroline in D.C., Busy Graham, old friend of many years. Hello, Nancy, who's showing a cow on her camera. Trish, nice to see you today. Cricket, hello to you. Nancy, hi, Nancy Schimmel. Jean in Pittsburgh, hi, Jean. Hi, Jean, it's good to have that, that's for sure. Aloysius, Janas, Westford, hello, Aloysius. Hello, Luda in Victoria. A lot of Canadians here today. Stephen, Michelle, it looks like it could be Silver Springs. I just see Silva. Hello, Annette, again, see you regularly. And my friend Storm, how are you, my friend? Hello, Fred, nice to see you in Silver Spring. Martha in Oregon. I'll be corrected on that. Hello, Deli. Hello, Rosalie in Denonville. Oh, Rosalie, that's a relation to Deb, I bet. Something just tells me. And Ralph in Victoria. Carol in Connecticut. Natalie, Luda's daughter. Hi, Natalie. That's beautiful. Sue Sean. And let's see. Now, someone just chatted, and I lost the name on the next person, so let's get rid of it. There we go. Julie in Ontario. Curly Tops. Welcome back. Hello, Gary Pausner. Saw you yesterday. Carol in San Francisco. And on to page 2. Whew! Let's see. Carolyn, 713 days. We've got those. Let's see. I want to catch up to Gary. Bear with me. You guys are really patient, and I appreciate it. We got Fred. We got Gary. We got Ralph and Victoria. Carol J. Sue Sean. Yep. Let's see. All right, here we go. Nancy N. Not on screen. Aloysius, we already said who. Hello, Natalia. Carol in San Francisco. LMG. Lori Ann. Sarah Hardigan. Hi, Sarah, old friend. James. Janet. Not on screen. Stephanie. Robert. Kate. Not on screen, but we have Hoda also. And Tusi. Some beautiful names. If I missed anybody, my apologies in advance, but I think I got everybody I could and did the best I could, and that's all we could hope for these days. So today we are blessed to have two musicians from the Ukraine, Solomia and Andre, who happen to be husband and wife. They're going to tell us a little bit about the song they're going to do for us today. But first, I want to welcome you two, and I want to extend my personal hopes, dreams, prayers, and actions for you and the people of your country. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Would you just say hi to everybody and tell us a little bit about what you've been doing? I know you did a concert last night and the music you're going to do today.
Привіт, this is in Ukrainian, hello, and we are duet Gerdan. Gerdan is the necklace. I don't know if you see, this is the beaded necklace from Carpathian Mountains. In Ukraine, it could be different shapes and forms and colors. It could be long and vertical, and then there is a tiny one. And it's handmade in the Carpathians, and that's why we decided to take this name, because our music is it's a combination of traditional folk music with some different styles and rhythms from around the world. So that's about our band. We perform as two of us or with a bigger ensemble, as we did a Kennedy Center performance 2 week ago, and yesterday we had a trio with accordion and dancers.
9 dancers.
9 dancers. We had a blast show in Easton, Maryland. People were very happy to learn about Ukraine, because that was our debut in Easton in Avalon Theater. So it was great to feel so much support. And now it's very, it just suddenly, because of this very unpleasant situation, war in Ukraine, which is we never would expect would happen with in our homes. We've been so busy to play and raise money to send humanitarian aid, because people were not really prepared, even if there was talking that Russians are on the borders, but nobody would believe that will happen, because people still thought that Russians, our neighbors, they won't bomb your cities, right? So that's why it's so sad for us. Every morning we get up, this is the first thing you check, if your friends and neighbors are safe and okay, and what's going on in your homeland. That's our reality now. So today we're gonna teach you a song, a march song from the beginning of 20th century. This song was created during the First World War, and it's a song that keeps the spirit strong by military men who would even if the bad circumstances, they would have a sense of humor. And the song is about the military guys who say, oh, we are so fun and good that the girls really like us, and we are going to be for our victory. And they talk about the first guy who holds the flag, and he's a very brave man, and his horse is beautiful too. And then they go and sing along, and also they say, we don't have money, we don't have bread, but we still have our spirit high and strong. So that's kind of like, to make your spirit strong and go for it. This is what probably our men now feel. And in the middle of the song there is a 1, 2, 3 in Ukrainian, which is raz, dva, tre, and you see it in your chat. So it's kind of very interactive. So we will practice first, and then we will do for you that song. So I will sing the part that I will sing in Ukrainian, and you, our beautiful audience, will respond раз, два, три. And I will say 1, 2, 3. Раз, два, три. And so I think David will be like a representative of your audience in a practice. So we'll do one time practice, and after that, we're gonna sing it together, and we will have instrumental break too, so you could hear our instruments. Yeah, and I hope you will enjoy it. And if you wanted to learn about us as our and our music, you can go on our website is www.gerdan.info. Gerdan. Okay, let's try. We'll do only one verse, but it will be three verses, then break, and then the first verse again. But for you, it will be always the same because this is the same what they say 1, 2, 3, right? Okay, I'll need a. Okay, let's practice. So, hey, ви стрільці січові,
Раз, два, три.
в наших дівчах серце мліє.
Раз, два, три.
Ви вперед не поступайтесь, ні на що не оглядайтесь.
Раз, два, три.
No, look where it is. Раз, два,
Раз, два, раз, два. Раз, два, три.
Yes, perfect. Let's do it again.
In my jeans.
Yes, okay. 1, 2, ready, go. Hey, ви стрільці січові,
Раз, два, три.
в наших дівчах серце мліє.
Раз, два, три.
Ви вперед не поступайтесь, ні на що не оглядайтесь.
Раз, два, раз, два, раз, два, три.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Okay. Now we are. I assume all the audience will be so good as you are, David.
Better.
So now we can sing along, and you guys, you're welcome to take maybe even percussion or dance or march along. This is a truly marching song to kind of to keep your good mood and spirit. Гей, ви стрільці січові, раз, два, три. В наших дівчах серце мліє, раз, два, три. Ви вперед се поступайтесь, ні на що не оглядайтесь. Раз, два, раз, два, раз, два, три. Поперед сотник іде, раз, два, три. Він до пекла з нами піде, раз, два, три. Сам де хлопець хоче бравий, під ним коник дуже жвавий. Раз, два, раз, два, раз, два, три. Пане сотник, що то стало? Раз, два, три. Щоб наш грошей дуже мало. Раз, два, три. 3 дні хліба ми не їли, лиш холодну воду пили. Раз, два, раз, два, раз, два, три. Січові, раз, два, три. В наших дівчат серце мліє, раз, два, три. Ви вперед се поступайтесь, ні на що не оглядайтесь. Раз, два, раз, два, раз, два, три. Hey!
Oh my goodness, I could sing that all day. That's so beautiful.
Very catchy, yeah.
Yeah,
very-
and now you know the last lesson, Ukrainian 101. You can count 1 by 3.
No, it's not 101, it's 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3, yes.
Well, of course, we will sing that again while we're still in meeting, but I want to ask you some questions, if I may. We talked before the meeting, and you said that you both still have family in the Ukraine. So could you tell us a little bit about that, where they are, what their situation is, and communication and possibility of leaving or staying? Just please, if you would.
So both of our families are in Ukraine, and as I told David before, I was lucky that my mom was visiting me during this time, and she was able to stay. Even she couldn't even leave because they closed all the skies, and but the rest of the family, my sister and her family, her husband and her son is in Ternopil, which is western part of Ukraine, and all my extended family, like our cousins and all relatives. And Andrei is from Lviv. You probably heard the city now many times. It's the most western part of Ukraine, and it's a beautiful cultural capital of Ukraine. And this is basically a base for all the refugees who are coming from east, who want to go to Poland or to Europe, Germany, or basically all the east western countries. So Lviv is the station where all people coming and go again. It's a beautiful city with a very big history. They have Renaissance building, they have Baroque building, they have 19th century building. It's just such a beautiful, beautiful place, and it's just so painful to see that people, instead of enjoying their lives and building their future, they have to defend their land. And kids they don't have their really childhood now because they see all the reality. So Andrei's mom is in Lviv, and he's also family, so we keep in touch with them every day.
The entire family is, not only in Lviv, some in Kiev, some in Odessa, but many of them are in medical field, so there's overwhelming amount of work to do on the ground, as you can imagine. But yeah, everybody is there. Nobody fled to Poland or other countries. There's nowhere to go. I mean, we have our land to defend. So, and being here in the United States, we're trying to do our best to support, to stay behind, and just engage people here, Americans, friends, and other nations, to be aware of what's happening in Ukraine. Unfortunately, this is the reality where we are now.
You've kind of started to answer the next question I was going to ask you. And, as musicians, what do you see as your role in addressing this from so far away from your homeland? Do you feel that music can help you and others get through this? Do you feel helpless? What are your feelings about what you do here in a foreign country when you're seeing what's going on back home?
Well, look, I'm because being far away, but in the same time very close to what is going on to Ukraine, because this is my homeland and I was born there. Like I said, all my family is there. This is my weapon. Being on Ukrainian soil, probably I would be just next to these people who defend. And standing up with a different weapon in my hands. But being far away, this is the best I can do right now to support my country, and being strong and stay behind everyone there.
Yeah, so this is our now mission, as the culture that we share with was during peaceful time. We did a lot of cultural presentation around DC area where we live, and also in different states, and even going to Canada. And but now it's even more intense, because beside our art, we want to bring attention to culture, to our country, so people know our country, not because of war, but how deep is the culture and what we can lose if we won't stay strong. And we did we started a lot of beneficial concerts. Yesterday we had Eastern Shore, Maryland, and Easton, and together with Busy Graham and Carpe Diem Arts, we're doing a next show that will be next Friday, basically this Friday, the 25th, March 25th at 7:30 in Olney, Sandy Spring Museum. So if you have availability and desire to support us, please come. We will have dancers again. We will have a band of 4 people. We will have accordionist and bass player with us. You can check video from Kennedy Center that was March 12th. How we look, how we sound together. It's not just the song that we teach, and we have a very, very a big culture and to share. And this is, we as an artist, I think artist is the most sensitive to the events in the world, and we cannot be silent. And music without emotions, without it's nothing. It's just the notes, so black and white. So that's through the music you can feel the culture. And and get connected, because sometimes if you don't know the words, you cannot connect. But music doesn't, it's expression without the words, so that's what we try to convey when we have our concerts. And also movement, dance, you can understand what is in the song through the movement. So that's our mission, and we try to do our best. This is the most what we can do, being here and not being able to directly help there, but we helping with our music to bring this attention to raise some financial support for those who really need that there.
So I wanted to ask you, I know you played a concert last night. What was the energy like with the audience and the entertainers last night? What did it feel like to you energetically, about people coming together for this?
So it was really nice because the theater was 100 years old. It was already great energy there. Insane. You just come into the theater. And people who came, they came with a really, open heart. And we could feel it in the audience, because we never played in that theater. People didn't know about us. But they came with open heart, and I think we won this heart because we had so many different good positive reviews, and people say thank you so much for doing it. And the dancers brought this youth, the dancing youth, and some Americans who never knew about Ukraine before. But Roman, who their colleague in dancing, he taught them Ukrainian dances. And then when we talk backstage, like, this is great what you guys doing, you're dancing Ukraine. Oh, that's so much fun. The dances are so interesting and music so beautiful. So it's really nice to hear from people who really don't have any connections to Ukraine. They didn't have that before. Now they are like so much in love with the culture. So that's what was our goal, I think, to get this connection.
And we actually displayed I'm sorry, the songs and the dancing styles throughout what we have in whole entire Ukraine, or just about, because it's a rich, very, very rich culture. So the culture is very rich. That's why the nation is very strong, and we have to win. We have to prevail this. And just to tell you this, there is no way to go back to Russia, to Soviet Union. The song that we shared with you, during the Soviet Union, you would be in Siberia, for several years in prison. And the instruments, the folk instruments, that's the identity of anything being Ukrainian. The Russians try to destroy it, and this is what it is.
Yes, and I see in the chat that people asking who is not in DC area. I think there's should be some organizations that we're working with. They link to directly donate to them. Yes, so basically we choose one organization that we started to work from 2014. We played a lot of fundraiser concerts with them. It's called United Help Ukraine. For this 24 days of war, they raised a lot of money. They raised, like what the president said yesterday in the concert, that raised up to, I think, $10 million already, which is great. And they are really good. We trust them. They count each penny and send it to in the right directions. They work with hospitals, with wounded soldiers. So they do a lot of support. And then there are so many different organizations, like our Ukrainian church in DC area, Silver Spring, does a lot of like helping children and shelters and things. So there's every organization that gives some support. This is all important. So there's just, we appreciate every contribution that you guys can help.
I could just talk to you all day. I really could, because there's so much to learn with these. But I want to make sure I ask you two more questions before we hear the song again. One is, how did you meet, and what brought you to the United States from your beautiful, soulful country?
So Andre came very long time ago.
Very long time ago.
With his band, and he studied here at Duquesne University and Michigan State. He did his doctorate in flute. Flute is his classical prime instrument and all kind of possibly flutes that you can imagine in his soul. We have
Only 250 flutes,
Yeah.
so just about.
so like he can play any flute you can imagine. So yeah, and I came here about 12 years ago to do my doctorate in violin performance at Catholic University, and then we met in Baltimore, which is kind of in the middle between Pennsylvania and DC, right? He played with Baltimore Symphony, and we had common friends who introduced us to each other. And then we decided to play together because I really loved folk music, and that was something that I didn't do that much. And that's where here we go. We have 3 kids now, so we teach them now to play. So I think hopefully
Soon you're gonna see them performing with us.
Yes.
So Andre, did you play the classical silver flute with the Baltimore Symphony? Is that what you did?
I
with them?
did, but I also brought with friends my band that I played in Pittsburgh and Cleveland. We brought some Eastern European folk music that we shared. It was a collaboration between the symphony orchestra and folk musicians that I had. So we did combination of both.
Well, this is very encouraging, my friends. You see that even folk musicians can influence symphonic music, and
Well-
there's a meeting on common ground.
Well, because lots of classical music has roots going back to folk. If you're talking about Bartok, in fact, Bartok was on a program with Baltimore Symphony, and
he was
anyhow
the
you
one
look-
who collected folk tunes in Carpathian Mountains, Transcarpathia,
Exactly.
Hungary, and brought it into basically arranged in the classical music. And you won't believe, but Mozart is actually his operas is based on the folk music of Italians. It just because
It's all folk music.
it just
yeah.
you feel because it was in the 18th century or 19th century, it's not, but it's actually this is the tune that he heard in in the streets. And because these composers, they were a genius in terms of they were masters of their craft, and they would just put these folk tunes into classical pieces, right? So that's what we and then we combine our classical training and this love for traditional music to make it, to elevate it. It's not just we play not as they play in the villages when people self-taught musicians, but we bring these tunes and put them in different contexts, and they sound very modern and upbeat and refined. So that's kind of our mission.
Well, the last thing I want to say is that the rest of you know what a lucrative career folk music is, and I just want to commend Solomia and Andre for doing so much humanitarian work through their music, to raise money for other people at this time of need and in other times. And that's something I love about our community is the vision to see beyond our immediate needs and to see about supporting the greater good of others. So I commend you, for all these fundraisers that you're doing. I'm utterly fascinated by your music background, totally meaningful about where you come from. And before we hear the song again, I just want to say something to you, Yakuyu, which I understand is thank you in Ukrainian.
Thank you, yes.
Let's all say that together, Yakuyu.
Дякую.
Yakuyu.
You're welcome.
And there's so much more to talk about, but let's go into the song one more time and then wrap it up for today.
Yeah, and then you will now remember, right?
Thank you, everybody.
1, 2, 3, and hej ви стрільці січові, раз, два, три. В наших дівчат серце мліє, раз, два, три. Ви перед це поступайтесь, ні на що не оглядайтесь, раз, два, три. Попереду сотник їде, раз, два, три. Він до пекла з нами піде, раз, два, три. Сам із себе хлопець бравий, під ним коник дуже жвавий, раз, два, три. Пане сотник, що то стало, раз, два, три. Що в нас грошей дуже мало, раз, два, три. 3 дні хліба вже не їли, лиш холодну воду пили, раз, два, три. серце мріє, раз, два, три. Ви вперед не поступайтесь, ні на що не оглядайтесь. Раз, два, раз, два, раз, два, три. Hey!
Thank you, everybody. Дякуємо.
Thank you so much.
This is so beautiful. Thank you so much for joining us. Anything else you'd like to share with us before we greet our community one by one and send us off into the day? Anything else from you two? Beautiful, beautiful, meaningful sharing today.
Please pray for Ukraine. Support us in any way you can. You know, I know the Americans have felt the sanctions at some point, but think about these little children that they are in shelters, bomb shelters. They don't have regular life. People, they have plans for entire life and they don't have them anymore. They probably don't have even homes anymore. They have to flee and live in uncertainty. So I think this is not even comparable to you know, extra. I know it's tough, but it's just at least what we can suffer right here. And I know Americans are very supportive. We have so many friends, and if you know some Ukrainian, just call them and say, how are you? Do you need just a hug? Because it's not just immediate family, it's all our big family as a nation, as people. So that's
We're all united now.
Yeah, so
I mean,
and
we
we
really appreciate all the support and help we can get.
Yes, and then if you want to learn about us, you can check our website. We have also just recent CD of basically very beautiful music that was a gift to our kids, and the music is very calming and beautiful. Also collaboration with jazz artists from Pittsburgh. So it's a mix of everything. So please check it out, and also the procedure, the costs are going to also help you children in Ukraine.
Yeah.
Yeah, and thank you for inviting us. It was we were thrilled and meet David, and I know Carpe Diem Arts and Antidote of Song that do a lot for community. It just keeps people in sanity, especially during the COVID era. So that's amazing project, and we wish you also like making it stronger and stronger, more and more around the world. So you have artists from every single part of the world to sing.
We are with you. We are with you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Дякую. Дякую.
Yeah,
Дякую.
дякуємо. Papa. That
Papa.
means bye-bye.
Bye-bye. And I'm looking for Aaron on the screen. Aaron, let's tag team this if we can. I want to start saying goodbye to everybody. First of all, how beautiful and powerful is that? I've got a whole new world of music to explore myself that is connected to my roots, you know, and my Ukrainian pendant that was sent to me from the Ukraine a week before all this craziness started. So, thank you again, Solomia and Andre, and your three beautiful kids. We hope to meet them the next time. And we're going to say goodbye to Becky in BC. Bye, Becky. Jojo, we know you're out there. We love you. Can't thank you enough for 700 plus days of this. So be safe on the road, and we'll look forward to whatever happens next starting at noon tomorrow. Arlene, nice to see you. Thanks for coming. Bob and Mabel. Bob has joined the bear and Mabel. Goodbye, Brian McLaughlin, my old friend. Goodbye, Jenny in Suffolk. Goodbye, Carolyn. Day counter. Goodbye, Sheila. Goodbye, Susan from Cincinnati. Kathleen from Albuquerque. Kate from Charlottesville. Ruth in Birmingham, UK. Susan in Seattle. Goodbye, Deb Denenfeld. Goodbye, Sarah Page. Thanks again, Pete and Janet. Thanks, Lynn and Cliff. Thank you, Ann and Marilyn. Thanks to Dan in Vienna. Thank you, Caroline in D.C. A lot of Mid-Atlantic here today. And thank you, Busy, always, only for decades. Thank you, Cricket. Thank you, Luda in Victoria. Steve and Michelle in Silver Springs. Annette Piron. Thank you, Annette. Thank you, Storm. Always great to see you. Let's see. Thank you, Fred in Silver Spring. Thank you, Martha in Oregon. Thanks, Ralph and Victoria. Sue, Sean. Curly Tops, as ever. Jamie, you getting a hip replacement? Is that what I read? Well, God bless you, and may that well resolve as well as possible. Goodbye to Don and Leanna. Goodbye, Nancy. Goodbye, Hoda and Kevin. Great to see you, my friend, birthday boy of a few weeks ago. Goodbye, Rosalie, Deb's sister in Michigan. Goodbye, LMG. Goodbye, Gloria in Minnesota. Goodbye, Sandra. and Diane, Bonnie and Ione, Trish and Victoria, Aloysius, Janas Westford, Gary Pausner. Good to see you again, Gary. And there's Aaron. How'd you get so far down on my screen there? Well, you're always top of my screen. Natalia, goodbye to you. Thanks for coming. Nancy, Carol J. in Connecticut, Carol in San Francisco. Glad we made that distinction. My friend Sarah Hardigan. And now on to page 2. Let's see if I can pick it up with Sarah and see where we ended up. Let's see. Wave if you're next. I got Sarah, I got Robert Gasser, Kate Wandering, the Carols. Did we get them, Dan? I think we got Dan. I think we got everybody. Raise your hand if I didn't get you. Good, it's anonymous. Oh, Carolyn. Carolyn, did I not say goodbye to you? Well, thank you all. Tomorrow, 12 o'clock sharp. I'm not quite sure what's in store, but if you want to get the chats from today, copy that chat so you can find the links to donate to Gerdan and to the people of Ukraine. I have some friends who are also buying nights of B&B, Airbnb, for Ukrainian hosts, even though obviously that's not happening, but that's a way to get money, I'm told, directly to the people of Ukraine, doing an end around all the red tape. So that's another consideration as well. Okay, I think that's it. So unless I'm forgetting something, Aaron, why don't you unmute and chime in case I've forgotten something here, would you?
Absolutely. I think that you've covered it all, and that is just the perfect place to end. The only thing that we got to do now is wave goodbye to everyone out there on Facebook Live. Bye, Facebook. Thank you so much for joining us today. We love you, and we'll see you again tomorrow.